New is not forgotten all. Having glanced at all things, we will probably want to give someone brighter, creative chance. Today, we will transform old fur in a new textile way. The old fur friend becomes a basis of 2 new mittens and a stylish winter bag. All is in our hands. Tatiana Lazareva wishes you the textile creative success. Hello, dear viewers. There is a magic holiday which unites everyone. People of all ages, men, women, adults, children. And this is the New Year. And each nation has its own traditions of its celebrating. If the Italians saying goodbye to passing day, throw out all things which have bothered them, of which they were tired, the traditions of our people assume very solicitous attitude to those subjects which are the part of creative life. Before celebrating and sitting at the big common table, it's necessary to put things in order in the house. Sometimes we look in the most secluded corners of entresol and find, for example, the old children's fur coat. Your child wore it. It's important for you, and this subject will be a basis of your already new creative object. I have found a piece of old fur which I wanted very much to alter a little, to combine it with textiles. Our textile surface will be altered. We will give it some very accurate wreath. It can be the diagonal form of a fir tree, or you can experiment and work on a circle. We will begin from the beginning. So, you take a textile surface, the head of pile of fur can be any. You take a fur basis and a textile basis, which will be interesting to you. It can be a fabric with drawing or any other old fabric. The fabric with history, it has stains. Here the structure is absolutely unimportant to us, because we will transform it into pile. You need to put it on the basis lengthwise, and we will lay a cup seaming at an angle of 35 degrees. We need to make the marking by means of a chalk or soap, and to put counter diagonals from the center line at an angle of 45 degrees. Look at the surface of our mitten. I took a fur piece. From above I have put textile pieces, have laid a vertical line, and then, on the right and on the left of it, at an angle of 45 degrees, I have laid cup seaming on distance of 1.5 centimeter. You can lay stitches less or more. When you will cut between them, you will have pile which height is equal to half of this distance. For example, between machine stitches is 1.5 centimeter, it means that the textile pile will be 0.75. As an example, we will make mitten of the small size, but to kindle your creative appetite, I want to show you object more largely. You took big enough piece of fur and this jacket is combined. It consists of 2 pieces of fur. Here is the same green as well as on mittens, and on the collar and on cuffs is an old sheepskin. It has already lived, it has become your friend, and we will give it the second breath. Simply having put from above a piece of textile and having made the same as on mittens. But pay attention, here we have vertical lines. There is no slanting direction. To make here such course of lines, you will need to put a fabric piece not lengthwise, but on the cross. You have put a fabric on the diagonal, and you have a possibility to lay along pile already vertical lines. Pay attention. I have cut out 3 details, about the same size as our paper curves, but a little more, because the pattern will decrease as well as we will stitch it together with textiles. And one more very much important point, I cut out all details so that pile has been directed downwards. It's very important, because when you put all under the machine and will lay cup seaming, the counter direction of pile will displace details and to prevent free movement. Pay attention, we have made 3 textile sandwiches. The first consists of a lining, then a fur piece, then any textile material, and this fine silk for mood, because flowers and rainbow shades will help to create certain textile mood. It's possible to make and 1 layer. On the jacket there is 1 layer, and on the palm it will be also a little easier. Now we pin all of these and will lay cup seaming, but very artful way. In the center we will lay a vertical line as a fir tree trunk, and then on the right and on the left at an angle of 45 degrees we will lay machine stitches as we have agreed, 1.5 centimeter. Thus you can lift few tree branches up or lower down. We have laid machine stitch, have gathered 3 layers in one. At first, have laid the central seam, then machine stitches on the right and on the left at an angle of 45 degrees, which imitate fir tree branches. Now we take usual sharp scissors and cut without touching the lining and fur, only decorative textile elements between the laid stitches. We have such fir tree. we take a brush and comb. You can combine brushes. If a fabric is thin enough and you have decided to decorate fur with any fine silk, you can take a toothbrush. It's very convenient to work with a brush with handle, and you smooth branches with love and will have very interesting combined fur. And now I will show you how to make very quickly and easily a pattern for mittens. All will be very quickly. You put your palm on a paper, on a cardboard, and outline using the usual ball pen your palm from the level you need. You can finish it at the bonnet level, can above. All depends on the length of your mitten. Let it be medium-sized and reaches your bone. Then you outline by the pen the palm and get such roundish detail which fits your palm. If you make the detail fur inside, it should be slightly more on 0.5 or 0.7 because pile will fill this space. If it's necessary that it will be close-fitting and looks great on the hand, then you will need to make without margins, and it will densely get on your hand, and pay attention, practically repeat its contours. Then we make the second detail, it will be just the same. Details will be absolutely identical on the size, but on the right or on the left, depending on the right hand or left, will be a finger. You will need to put the palm on this pattern, to bend the finger at an angle of 90 degrees, and to make a mark in this place where there was a bend. Have made a mark and it? Imagine that I have put my hand and have made a mark, and it corresponds to this level. Now, from this marking, you need to postpone the head of your finger upwards. All has their own size. Therefore, this size will correspond to your thumb. This size you level down and round off. Do such cutting which corresponds to such contour. You need to lower the finger down and to make cut. Your mitten will consist of two absolutely identical details. On one of them, on the right or on the left, there will be a hollow for a thumb. Now the finger. In other words, the detail which will be cover the finger. You will need to increase twice this contour. If you draw this contour and continue it, enlarging, in other words, increasing twice, you get such detail of the finger. Pay attention. On height, this detail will correspond from the bottom to height of the finger, and it's increased twice. On width, it will supplement our mitten to integral contour, then to combine details and to gather them among themselves. All is very simple. Now, when all details are ready, you can transfer them to the textiles. We outline paper patterns on few details which you have, and on perimeter they need to be processed by BS binding. I pay you attention that we cut out without joint margins because the BS binding will fix the size in the contour we need. So, each detail is processed by BS binding, which from within can be fixed by secret stitches from the wrong side, or you can lay cap seaming. I will lay secret stitches and I will have the detail with the finger, and the back part, which needs to be combined, and connected stitch over the edge. Our work is almost finished. We have etched all details and now we take a needle with a strong thread and we start to connect, starting with the finger. You put the finger detail. It's better to make inside, face to face, and to begin with the wrong side, because from the side you won't see the move of threads. But sometimes it's very difficult to turn out details because the finger is narrow, details are narrow. In that case, you can make the other. To combine details the wrong side inside, from above, to lay a seam manually, and then to cover all with a beautiful decorative thread, for example, the doubled woolen thread, and then all it will be the decorative element. In other words, all minuses become pluses. We have sewn the finger detail. It corresponds to the size of our thumb. Here is very cozy and comfortable. Now we need to take the back part and preciously, the same way we stitch over the edge, to pass on perimeter of our mitten, and then to pass preciously the same way by the woolen thread on the same perimeter, but already decorated it with wool. We have the wonderful home hands. And as Givenchy said, the woman doesn't wear the dress, she lives in it. And if you have such wonderful pair of mittens, you can use them as a case for a gift. And to make to your family a pair of such different fur, of the most different materials, cozy and beautiful small homes. We go to the guests and we need to put our gifts in very beautiful Christmas bag. All will be very simple. If you already have an old textile basis, for example, an old bag, which you want to alter a little or make of it new, taking the same fabric or even natural fur can make a winter nice bag. The method will be very simple. You cut out from a cardboard such plaque, a plug with an aperture in which there passes the pad of the sewing machine. The width of this plug is your future pile increased by 2, because the stitch center will be the height of your pile, which reaches the edge of this plug. You take any accessory basis which you have. It can be fabric pieces, we took a woolen thread. Then you unclose this plug under the bed of the sewing machine and lay a machine stitch on the aperture. As you will stitch this basis, you, by such movement from yourselves, will remove everything that you have stitched. And again, wind round under the bed and use thread. You will have such beautiful decorative element. After, you can sew manually or stitch on any textile basis what you get. It can be a cap with ear flaps at which you can decoratively design ears. You can use this snake for any pattern. It can be a snowman if the thread is white, and a fir tree if you have such beautiful green thread. Experiment. Patterns can be the most unusual. The most important thing that you haven't forgotten to smile when stitch or sew your snake. The master class is finished. It seems to me it will be appropriate to remember the wonderful medieval Dama story, which asserts that skilled workers are good wives, the income and savings and all. And small business is better than the big idleness. Sometimes the small reserve of the creative material, a piece of fabric, of a thread, can present tremendous big and wonderful textile mood that I wish you. Peace to your home, good luck, and to new Mittens.